any animals that you're afraid of?
Yes, actually, one animal that gives me the creeps, really gives me the creeps, is land crabs.
Really?
Land crabs do not, they don't, when they do that skittish side-to-side movement, I'm all fine with it. You put it on land with the little hairs that come out of them, freaks the hell out of me.
Now, I got to tell you something very interesting that you say land crabs. Do you know that Robert De Niro, when he practiced the role of Taxi,
yes.
The taxi driver, he actually studied the movements of a crab to get that character in his head.
Really?
Really, because
For Taxi Driver.
For Taxi Driver, he thought the movements of the crab would be the way that character was, like
Yeah,
so
to
now
creep you out.
Yeah, so every time you think of Robert De Niro, every time you see a crab, you can just go, "Oh, Robert De Niro," and then you won't be creeped out anymore.
I'm telling you. You could take the girl out of the movies, but you can't take the wick of Franny out of the girl.
That's right,
That's the whole
and that'll
thing.
appear on the green screen, which is just a green screen.
Don't press it. We're lucky if we have pictures. I'm glad the audio sounds good.
Okay, now.
Oh, Jay Mugga says we love you, JB, and Blargle says this time both cameras are working well.
Oh, that's very good.
And Rowena says you guys are the best.
Oh, thank you. And Jay Mugga, what? We only love JB. You don't love me. I'm very insulted.
FC.
What about FC?
And William Wade says we're hanging in there. Okay, Wade, it should be up now. Everybody seems to be happier with it at the moment.
Okay, great.
And you guys can interrupt with questions too. By the way, what news stories did you guys see this week on Buzz 60 or off that caught your attention?
Okay, one that I saw off was about spiders. Do you know that it was raining spiders in Brazil? You know, sometimes people see nice little snowflakes outside. Here, there were thousands, like 40,000 spiders just coming down.
And they were the size of pencil erasers.
Yeah, that's like...
Little tiny ones.
Unless it's a big pencil. But it was like tiny little things. But can you imagine, going out and all of a sudden you're going like this and it's like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Right, that would be... I'm not scared of spiders, but I don't think I would want them all over my body.
And the biologist in me can tell you that, of course, it wasn't actually raining spiders. They don't come from the sky. But communal spiders and spiders that are socially oriented, what they do is they make webs, massive webs, especially at nighttime, not usually during the day.
Right.
But and then they all traverse across the webs, and they use the webs as giant netting to catch flies and other prey animals that they.
You hear static on your telephone pole. Don't think that it's a bad connection. It just could be a spider crawling across.
Spiders are making phone calls.
Okay.
For Fran, we have a question. Any food which you were surprised to discover it tasted good? What is she, like Andrew Zimmern that just eats anything? Why would I don't know why you would think that you eat weird foods.
But I do eat weird foods because if he remembers.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'll give him credit, Blargle.
Okay, here we go. Because, and not that I would endorse eating this, but I did go to the Explorers Club dinner. And the Explorers Club dinner is based on the fact that maybe there were explorers stuck somewhere and they might have had to eat something that they weren't, to survive. And I actually had to eat kangaroo meatballs. And I was like, oh, I don't want to eat that. I love little kangaroos. And so that was a rough one. But what was worse than that was they had bison penis. And I was saying to myself,
bull balls and things like that? No.
No.
And no tongue. I don't want to taste something that's tasting me.
Tasting
no,
me back.
no.
But here's the thing that's crazy about it. They're out there in the woods trying to survive. Why are they eating just the penis and not the bison? You're telling me that that's what they decided was the thing that's going to help them survive?
I'm thinking that they probably used every inch of that animal to survive. And
that's not what was at the dinner.
No, because in the dinner they consider that a delicacy.
That's disgusting.
What people consider a delicacy, I have no clue. I
didn't know quinoa would taste so good, and actually I eat
quinoa's good
instead of rice.
Quinoa is tasty.
Yes.
Quinoa is a good grain. Blargle says Webb's community sounds like unity. Yeah, Spider YouTube. What can I say? By the way, you guys who are watching, and I know Blargle does, and all you guys do. When you get it, and Rowena says hi to you.
Hi, Rowena.
And William says we love you both.
Love you both. Thank you. Now I feel wanted.
And then also Jay Mugga wrote FCU Rock too.
Oh, thank you.
So he's giving you love.
And
thank you for tweeting.
When I looked at it, it actually looked like something else.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
It does actually. Jay Mugga, especially the way you write in all caps and everything. Yeah, it does.
I was like, what were you saying?
It did look like something else. And if you guys, since you've been watching the Buzz 60 stories and everything, let me know which of the Buzz 60 stories you liked the best this week so far, or last week, since some of them come out, since I think I only did one day this week so far. So you can write that in the chat when we get up to it. And now 5, we're just growing in leaps and bounds.
I'm telling you, well, listen, exponentially, that's a lot.
Yeah, actually, percentage-wise, you're 100% right.
You're
very good. Blargle, by the way, says kangaroo meatballs as opposed to meat kangaroo balls.
Yeah. Meat kangaroo ball. Hi, how are you? Again.
Very funny. Okay. Well, guys, also, do me a favor. Put it on Facebook, too, for the show to try to get it out there as well. Fran is very knowledgeable about Facebook and actually teaches me things. You know, I didn't know how to write on somebody's wall, and she showed me how to do that.
And I said, yeah, John, whenever you have something that you're promoting, just put it on my wall.
Which is very sweet.
Yeah, but of course, we support each other.
I know Twitter, but Facebook I never got into for some reason. For some reason, I skipped that one.
You skipped that one? I'm doing LinkedIn now, and I'm not really sure of what.
I don't know. Isn't there too many? Don't you guys think there's too many social media outlets now?
I don't even know what Flickr is.
No, Flickr's for photos, because we use that at Buzz60. Flickr is you put photos on there, and as long as it's like Creative Commons, you're allowed to use them for other things.
Okay, so you got Flickr, you have Pinterest, you
Right.
have LinkedIn, you have YouTube,
Yep.
you have Google Plus,
Instagram.
You have
Instagram is used now.
Instagram is used now, but you know Instagram was being sued. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, are they now? What are they being sued for now? Because there was a big problem that they were using other people. They were claiming the rights to other people's photos.
Exactly, and then they were
and allowed
making
to
the
sell-
money off
yes.
of it, and that the person who actually took the photo wasn't allowed to have any compensation for their own
Correct.
photos.
They,
so
they
people
were claiming the
taking
rights
off.
for anything that was put on their
Yeah,
site.
the celebrities were getting upset by that.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And also this Who Say, by the way, which if you're a
That's
celebrity.
the Dr. Zeus channel.
Who Say?
Who Say?
Green eggs and ham. Who Say is a celebrity one where you get to post photos and they actually run ads, but you get a piece of that. You can actually make money on Who Say.
Who Say? That's another Ebonics channel, I guess, right? Who Say? I don't know. You say, I say.
Who Say?
Who Say? That's like the Italian one. Who Say?
I'm so thrilled Rowena's actually watching because she has such trouble usually seeing things most of the time.
Well, Rowena.
Rowena, yes.
I'm glad you're watching. And what does Vine mean? Is that
I don't
another
know.
thing?
I don't know. It says Vine. Vine is another social media outlet, Blargle? You think? Okay, social media will shake out the hard to use.
Okay, there
Yes.
was a
Yes,
skin
definitely.
cancer detecting app.
Yeah, he liked that,
Really?
yeah.
You know what? You know what I like? The flashlight app. Because you could be anywhere and you could turn on your little flashlight and go
Oh, that's
all over
cool.
the place. Yeah,
That's cool.
It's really cool. And for me, you know, a magnifying app, you know.
You remember when Fran used to do her show? And she'd have the magnifying glass looking at
love
everything?
that magnifying
No,
glass.
he's referring to, I did a story on Buzz60, which is believe it or not, you're talking about people with Poe judgment. Believe it or not, there's a skin cancer app which you can put on your smartphone that can help you diagnose if you have skin cancer. But what it was doing was it was misdiagnosing a lot of precancerous lesions and like early skin cancers. And what it does is it gives you a false sense of security because you're like, well, my smartphone said that I'm fine. And then by the time you go to a doctor to check out anything, it's like past the easy stages of treatment.
Yeah, because
so it was actually life-threatening.
Then you're like a leper.
Yeah, people were like relying on their smartphones to detect skin cancer.
Okay, see, here's the thing. When it comes to certain things like your health, that's not where you start, you know, skimping.
Yeah.
You don't go, let's see, do I fix my car this week or check out this big lump that's on my back? Oh, well, let me just use my smartphone. Oh, you know what? That lump is just a knapsack in disguise. Yeah, no, you really need to, you know, go
That's true.
Go to the doctor if something's really bad. Speaking of which, you know that I pulled my groin muscle of all things.
And how did she do that? She was climbing one of the rock walls.
Yeah, at first I climbed one, then I climbed another, and I went, don't you guys have anything harder? And then I was up there in this tiny little rock, and the guy goes, I go, there's no place to climb. And so I went to go over to the right to climb, and I heard pop, never a good thing.
Not when it comes to the body.
No.
Sound effects that we use in videos are not meant to be heard in real life.
And then
it's
of
like
course,
a cartoon.
instead of going to doctor, like I should have, I asked John. I said, John, what should I do? He goes, do what I do. Just push it as much as you can.
I never let anything rest totally. I mean, I always go to the doctor, you follow the doctor's advice. But the doctor a lot of times will just stay off of it for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever. And the thing is, like, even when I shattered my wrist, if I had stayed off of it, you know, and just atrophied and became a big blob and also felt miserable because you don't have the endorphins going if you're not exercising, my wrist would never have had the flexibility it did when I first got out of the cast. And even the doctor commented.
Yeah, he did really well. You know what he did? He also used it as an excuse for people he didn't like. He would punch them and say, I'm really just working out my wrist.
There you go. Which, you know, with a cast, that can actually hurt.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. Let's see.
Okay.
Now, Engineer Chris. You guys who watch the show regularly know, well, regularly we've only been on twice, but Engineer Chris, do you see any questions that we're missing? Because the last
Right
thing
here.
I'm seeing is...
Peter Girl, who's now Mind of
Oh,
Science.
hey, Peter Girl. Well, that's older question. Somehow we must have missed it. The smartphone is not your doctor. You're right. Haley Smith is in the house. Oh, I've done that.
Haley.
It's the worst when you pull them up. It is a bitch, Haley, isn't it?
I'm telling you. It's, yeah, really.
Haley.
Of all
There's a point
places.
for a Dr. Seuss comment.
There's a what?
Fran gets 1 point for the Dr. Seuss
Oh, thank you. Oh, let's do a point.
Winner,
I like
point.
that. All
winner.
right.
Smartphone is not... Where did you see Peter Girl?
I saw Peter Girl.
I know, I saw
she's
her.
under Science. You got a new name now, Peter
Mind
Girl.
of Science. No, that's always been her YouTube name.
Oh, but I
We've
didn't
just-
know that.
Yeah, we've just never been on YouTube with this before.
Okay.
Peter Girl, how can she not know your full name? Where are you, Mind of Science?
I saw it. It said
There
Mind
she
of
is.
Science.
There
Yeah,
she
wait,
is.
whoa.
We're on live. Laugh out, girl. Laugh out loud. This is Peter Girl, by the way. First time here since I always miss the show. Well, Peter Girl, you haven't missed many because we've only had like 2.
Right.
But please become a regular at this show like you've been at the other shows because I count on your support. When I don't see Peter Girl in the audience, my heart
cries.
just beats a little slower.
It doesn't go Peter. It goes Peter. Bleh,
Yeah,
bleh. He needs
pretty
he
much.
needs to have you there.
I need to have you there. That she's actually telling the truth. And
I'm telling you.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Now we can go forward. Now we have, okay. Well, the comments are working better. Haley Smith, I don't remember you being here before, so Haley Smith, you just got chunked. Anytime there's a new viewer.
I know,
I
you
like
chunked
that. I like that combination. You just got chunked.
See?
She got it.
Okay.
Okay, and now we go, Fran, go to a real outdoor cliff, and try to climb.
I
There you
did
go.
that. No, I actually did that. You know what my favorite place is? And I tried to get John to go with me. Mohonk. Do you people know Mohonk in New Paltz? They have this great thing called a lemon squeeze. And there's this tiny little ladder that you climb up on.
Mm-hmm.
And John, you would love it. Well, maybe you wouldn't. If there's
I like
wind.
hiking.
Yeah,
I like hiking.
But one day I'm gonna get John to go. But you climb up this tiny little wall, and then there's one section where you have to stick your back against the wall, and you have nothing to use except your feet against one wall and your back, and you have to scramble up like that for a whole like a good 12 feet, 13 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good one.
That's a situation we
And
can
I
afford.
never pulled my groin there.
That's amazing. And yet you pull it on the man-made wall.
Yeah, I know, it's embarrassing. I should come up with a better story so that it's
Well, when I
exciting.
broke my wrist, they said it looked like I fell from a 10-story building. I actually was just walking. My backyard has a low fence, well, at least low enough for my legs to walk over. I have to step on a Bilko door as I'm taking out the garbage if I don't want to go to the gate. And I would step on the Bilko door, always fall off of it. And this one time, and I always curse, I'm like, or as I would say,
Yeah.
over and over again. But anyway, so this time I fell and I landed on my wrist and I twisted in such a way that it looked like I had fallen from a 10-story building, the doctor said.
And so then he told people that, did you?
No, I kept saying I kept saying I was a dumbass and I fell on my slippery Bilko door while taking out the garbage.
Yeah.
So that was more pathetic. Now, Engineer Chris, the last comment we're seeing is from Blargle about Fran going to an outdoor cliff. What do you see?
Jay Mugga wants to know, JB, how is your dog doing?
Oh, I know you guys miss her on this show. I am. Thank you. Doesn't Engineer Chris have like the game show voice? I expect him. I expect him to say like, "And Jay Mugga, you have won." I don't know what you win. Well, if we get over, well, now we're growing in leaps and bounds. We've gone from a 3 to 7. But if we get
That's a
over
10?
20,
Over
if
20?
we get over 20, which is like still 1/5 of what I had on Conduit, we will play Swag Bag. So get your peeps in order, and we will play Swag Bag. And Peter Girl, just for you, somehow this got into Swag Bag by mistake. This was not supposed to be. This is just for my prop.
Oh.
This is for cards are falling.
Better
We
than
have cards.
spiders.
But anyway, we are going to be bringing back Stu Crew Star of the Week. Okay? Stu Crew Star of the Week is the person who does the most to advance new media Stu. And every time we have a Stu Crew Star of the Week, Peter Girl, you've won it so much, you will be winning a Stu Crew Power shirt. So some weeks... Power, yes. So some weeks, if nobody does anything to help new media Stu or further the cause, no shirt is given. But if somebody does something and stands out that week, you actually win a Stu Crew Star of the Week shirt from Viral Prints, okay? And actually, Engineer Chris will be so happy to show this. There you go, on the close-up camera, Chris.
There we go.
Viral Prints. I feel like such a big talk show now.
Yeah, right.
We're using the special close-up camera. I don't know if it's taking because I can't see it, but anyway. And then we have the shirt, okay, on the close-up camera. Stu Crew Power. But anyway, how you help New Media Stu is, and helping Fran and I, is what Peter Girl did, and you guys did. You got me on Watch What Happens Live on Bravo. You bombarded them to the point with tweeting that they actually called me to get on that. You guys got Parmalee with their top country song, Must Have Had a Good Time, on the show, to guest on the show. That was Peter Girl starting the brigade of crazy tweets. Stu Crew slow clap on that one, Peter Girl. And we got something else too. I forgot what the third one was, Peter Girl. You can write in. But anyway, we're bringing back Stu Crew Star of the Week. Chris, if you have the graphic for the Stu Crew Star, put that up so that they can see what it looks like.
There's been a request.
Yes.
Since you do rock climbing, show us your guns.
For who? For Fran?
Yeah.
Show the guns.
Okay, wait a minute. Well,
Gun show.
let's not do a comparison.
No, it's not a comparison. You wouldn't want guns. Fran has guns.
There we go.
Fran has. By the way, look at.
It's a pistol.
Look at how it froze. Look at how that's been frozen forever. Pistol. She can go. She
not
can,
bad, huh?
she can go like this.
You know what? Actually, I will tell you this. My
good.
dad used to be a Golden Glove boxer.
Okay.
Right? So when we were young, I mean, I think he wanted boys instead of girls, but he would always teach us, like, boom, like how to.
She's got you got good. You got good form too.
Yeah.
She got good
So-
form.
Well,
This is
anyway,
the-
you
this
can
is
read all
the-
about it in my book, Almost a Wise Guy, How My
Say
Dad is
it.
a Boxer. And that's on my website.
Go-
Fran
give it- give it a plug.
FranCapo.com.
Give it a plug.
Capo, like head of the mob. Capo, Capo di Tutti, Fran Capo. You go, you read about my dad who was in the mob, and then you find out how I got my guns.
And then Blargle, no Blargle. Midnight did not break my wrist in real life. Ha ha ha. And Peter Girl, by the way, did you win a Stu Crew Power shirt yet? I know you won a lot of stuff. But if you want to, if you bring back Stu Crew Star of the Week, Peter Girl, we'll get you something besides the Stu Crew Power shirt. I just don't remember you getting one
Hey,
necessarily.
look, I like it. He liked my guns. Blargle, I like that you like my
Yes.
guns. Hey, can I tell them about Midnight?
What about Midnight? Sure.
Okay. A couple of times, because John and
Oh,
I
yeah,
live far
yeah,
away
yeah.
from each
Oh,
other.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, sometimes
I know where
get
she's
tired,
going with this,
yeah,
yes.
And I get tired, and so John goes, well, if you're tired, I'll go work out. You could go sleep on my couch. And when I go sleep on his couch, the dog is out. Now, Midnight, I got to tell you something.
With her hand, Midnight boxes, but she boxes like this.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
like
be
the Gangnam
sleeping
Style
on the
box.
And Midnight thinks nothing of jumping on me as if I'm a sidewalk. He'll jump all over me. And then, so what I do to try to get some sleep, I'll put the blanket over my head, and he's like this the whole time, like this. And I'm like, all right, Midnight. And he's over there going like this. I'm like, I love you, but you got to get off me.
She says he repeatedly, and everyone knows she's she over and over
I
again.
know. I'm sorry. I do that with even
With
my
every
cats.
dog. You do that with every
I do
dog,
with
yeah.
my cats too.
She does.
My cats are male.
That's
and
a
I call them
trivia
female.
question.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Jay Mugger says, I never win a shirt. I never win a shirt.
I never.
Jay Mugger,
finisher.
Jay Mugger, actually, you are such a great supporter, man, with the comments and everything. Thank you so much. To win a shirt, just do some of the stuff like Peter Girl does and Emily Al did and stuff like that. It's like helping to, get us on some other shows, which is a cool thing, and also doing anything to further the name of New Media Stu far and wide. So like, tweeting shows you want us to be on, or if you bring us a guest on the show that we've been trying to get, like Peter Girl did with Parmalee. But her biggest thing was the Watch What Happens Live. That was pretty big. And all of you guys combined for that, which was good. All right, and then we go, damn the guns. Midnight fights like a girl. Midnight does fight like a girl, but she's a badass
Hey,
little
wait,
girl.
Excuse me. I'm a girl. And I
She's a
don't-
badass little
yeah.
girl.
I'm going to have to teach her how to do her paws.
Don't do that, because she'll be too good at it.
That's it.
She'll be
Come
too
home
good.
and she'll go, you were out too late.
Now, Engineer Chris, which questions do you see now? Because we're still frozen on the screen.
Yeah, we're frozen on clap.
It's just a lot of people still amazed at the gun show that Fran had.
All right. Yes. Didn't think I had them, did you?
She does. She has guns. Come
And
on.
I could do, not with my groin hurting, but I could do guys push-ups. Remember one time we were doing this thing where we
Speaking
were
gig.
having
Yeah.
a seal kiss us. Do you remember this? And we
Oh,
were
that
doing,
too. Yeah,
we were
okay.
doing push-ups at the New York Aquarium with a seal. And I was keeping, well, not exactly keeping up, but I did about 25 men push-ups.
You were good. Well, not only that, but I remember when we were at a speaking gig and we were doing it
that's
in
right.
front of the Kids in Action. We were
There was
speaking.
like 1,000 kids.
Yeah, actually 3,500.
Oh, really? Was that
3,500 3,500 high school students at the Kids in Action event that we were speaking at, which was pretty cool. And then, so who else do you see on the comments for us to respond to there, Chris?
Mind of Science 3. Yes, I got the shirt.
Oh, you got the shirt. Okay, thank you, Peter Girl. So Peter Girl, write in more comments. Do you need the Some Beach shirt? We have the Some Beach. We have the Stu Crew Power shirt, which you have. We also have the Team Basedow shirt, and then any of the ones on whatever. Peter Girl, if you win Stu Crew Star of the Week, pick one of the ones on the Viral Print site. There's like 15 of them, and you can whichever one you want, you'll get that one. Everybody else gets Stu Crew Power.
Okay, I want to find out how many people here like or are sick of that Harlem Shakedown dance or whatever they
Good
call it.
question. Yeah, Harlem Shake.
Harlem Shake, where the guy's just gyrating there and everybody pretends they don't see them, and all of a sudden everybody's dancing to it. I said to John, we should do that in the middle of the show, but probably other YouTubers would shoot us. It's like, enough.
You know, even as we were tuning into this show, when you remember, because every time I have to go to this show, I have to change for editor Chris. I have to engineer Chris. I have to reconfigure my YouTube channel to be the live show broadcast channel. And even as I'm doing that on the homepage of YouTube, it's this thing. The video pops up saying, you know, I'm trying to do a Harlem Shake video, but don't hate me because this one's going to be good, because everyone is so against seeing them because it's been just done so to death.
But it's so weird though. What goes viral?
I've never seen it. That's what I just had a Google Hangout on that today.
But you know what? Know what it is really?
What?
It was these 4 boys. Guys, whatever, that they were all unemployed, and they said, all right, let's just do something silly. So it's the original one that started is one guy's pretending he's working a computer, another guy's doing everything, and one guy just gets up and he starts dancing. It looks like he's like kind of humping something or whatever, and he's doing his thing, and everybody's pretending they don't see him, and then at a point in the song it cuts, and then everybody's doing some kind of bizarre dance. And that's basically it. It's one person starts, nobody pays attention to them, and then everybody's doing.
But it's not like
dance.
everybody's hustling or everybody's shuffling.
No,
whereas
they're all
like
doing
it's
like
the same
weird,
dance.
No, they're all like, one guy looks like he's being a worm on the floor, another guy's hanging, another guy's facing a window. I mean, they're all doing, you know. It looks like a mental ward.
I like what Blargle wrote, and I also like the rhyme there. A Harlem Shake, the meme we love to hate, then emulate.
That is so true.
I always say, when you first start off with an idea, you're always going to be hated in the beginning because you're in the minority. You stick with it long enough, people are going to start accepting it. Then it's going to become commonplace. It's going to become a habit. Then you become a star for making it. Then it's going to become overdone and you're hated.
Well, 2 things. Blargle asks, he says he's going to make an alien shake, which would be really cool, as if you're going out into outer space and then one alien freaks out. And
You'd probably be good at that, Blargle. I could see you doing a viral type shake with that.
And here, now, speaking engagement. You know that John and I do public speaking together. We do a thing called Success Made Simple. No, Success Made Simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Simple. And we
And
love
fun.
doing it together.
It is. It's a blast. It's really especially cool when we have like a large audience. When we did the Kids in Action with 3,500, that was amazing. You get so excited seeing them get excited, and you know, it's such. I don't really get the rush, you know, that I get from that when we're doing like a speaking gig in front of like a business or offices or things like that.
Well, it's different because kids, you know, just let you feel from the heart, and they really get into it. Which is the other thing that I loved about doing it, John. Especially you could relate to this because you have the bullying video, right? Is that I think in kindergarten, all right, it's all fine and good to know your red from your green because you got to know it, you know, because when you're crossing the street, if a red light comes, a green light comes, you got to know when to cross. But they should teach kids self-esteem in the school.
100%.
And if some bully came up to you and said, I don't like your hair, you know, I go, who the hell gives a shit what you like? If a person has self-esteem, they stand up for themselves. You know, my son got bullied a lot. Right? And I said to him, I will never be upset if you punch the kid back. And the teacher's like, you can't tell people that. I'm like, hey, nobody has a right to put their hands on me. Nobody has a right to touch me, to yell at me, to tell me any of that
Completely
crap.
not.
You know?
And the thing is also with bullying, the biggest thing is the only way anybody's words are going to have any impact on you is if you allow it. Anybody in this world can say anything to you. They can act any way. You can't control their actions. You can only control your reaction to them. If somebody says, you're ugly and your mother dresses you funny, and then you go home saying, oh, this person made me feel bad. No, they didn't. You allowed them to make you feel bad. You chose to accept what they were saying is true. Don't give them that power. Look at that person. Most of the time, they look like the head end of a turd. Why are you going to listen to what that person's saying to you? Why are you going to all of a sudden give their words credibility? that makes them have power to hurt you.
Right, and it's bad to ever come from a victim mentality. You don't want to be
Completely.
saying poor me, poor me. You want to say, you say that, who cares? Who died and left you, bully? And the other thing too is, I just think that if somebody has a good self-esteem, like if your parents didn't teach it to you, learn it from somebody else,
Emulate somebody that you like or look up to, and take on those traits in the beginning if you don't have them for yourself, I think.
And the thing is, everybody wants to be accepted, all right, to a certain degree. But you know what? I feel normal is boring.
Normal is boring.
Who wants to be ordinary? You want to be extraordinary. You
Yep.
want to stand out. You don't want to be like a sheep. You know why? Sheep get eaten. You don't want to be like a sheep.
She's saying one of the Johnisms. I always say that,
Yeah.
which is cool. The big thing about bullying, I think, and also haters in general, and you guys all face it who are watching now, because if you do videos and you do anything on the web, you're going to get a lot of hate. The only way you don't get hate is if you're in a pine box and dead and nobody's talking about you. As soon as you do something that you're making any type of impression, you're going to have people that love it, you're going to have people that hate it. Don't let anybody's words have any type of impact on you that you don't want them to have. Don't let anybody ever steal your joy or make you feel less or limit you from doing what you want to do. That's a big
There's
thing.
a really cool story that says, that this one guy decided he wanted to find out like the meaning of life or whatever, and he stood online to speak to Buddha. And Buddha was at the front of the line, and then by the time he got up to the line, he actually said to Buddha, you're big, you're fat, you're ugly, and Buddha just didn't respond. And he goes, did you hear me? I said you're big, you're fat, and ugly. And Buddha turned to the guy, and all he said to him was, if somebody gives you a gift and you don't accept it, who does the gift belong to? So if somebody gives you a gift of hate, go, no, thank you, and just give it right back to them.
That's right, because if somebody's projecting their own insecurities, frustrations, and fears on you, just step aside. You don't have to be their screen. God bless the person behind you.
And okay, so what do we say here? Social services.
I am old enough not to give haters any time in my life. I got videos to make. There you go,
Yay,
Blargle. I like that.
That is a good attitude. Yeah.
That's it exactly, friend. Who cares?
Yeah.
Social services checks out of home to make certain it's 100% safe, but they don't check. That's very
That
very
is
good.
so smart. That's
Bully
a
side,
great
that's a-
point. You know
it's
what?
a good word, too.
Because there are teachers who just turn a blind eye. They can see that things are happening, and they don't do anything to help.
A lot of times teachers just want to wait for the bell to ring at 3 o'clock so the problem walks out the door.
Yeah, well, you know what? Unfortunately, it brings that problem home, and then the kid's scared to tell the mother because then the mother's going to think she's not getting along in school.
Well, now it's even worse because the videos I've done on bullying, which is why it's worse now,
cyberbullying?
it's all about cyberbullying. And the thing is, the reason why people I think are taking their lives more, and it's becoming more of a problem now than it was even in years back, was you could get bullied in school, it's terrible, but then there's a relief. You go home, you're away from it for a while, and then you just dread going back to school again. Nowadays, there's nowhere to get away from it. You get bullied in school, then somebody puts something on the web, and then everybody's talking about it, and then you go to Facebook or any of the social media sites. There's no escape. You're always in front of it 24/7.
But the thing that bothers me is if there's a way to have the self-esteem inside you, right? If you build it up from when you're a kid,
Then you're not affected
then you're
by
not
it.
going to be affected by it because it's like, what? I'm going to let that person, that scum of the earth, affect me where I'm going to commit suicide?
No.
You're giving that person that much power. He who angers you controls you. And here's a good visualization technique that they say is to pretend you surround yourself, and I believe in Mother Mary and archangels and everything. You could pretend that the wings of, Archangel Michael are around you, or picture yourself in like a ball with a mirror facing out, so anything they do, the mirror goes to them, and just protect yourself in white surrounding light. People don't have to know what the hell you're doing. Don't tell them you're doing this. They may think you're nuts. Then you'd really be bullied. But,
That's a good way to visualize it, too.
You just visualize yourself. You're in a bubble, and nothing could penetrate that wall. It just all goes out to the other person. Obviously.
So it's almost like a shield, like it bounces back on them.
Right, exactly. I'm rubbing your glue.
You go,
yeah, right. Exactly.
Everything you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Rapping.
So
Rapping,
anyway,
Gangnam Style. And also the one other thing I wanted to just say, especially about bullying nowadays, is that so many times, if I got bullied in school, okay, it only happened a small time because I would always look at the other person, and especially as I got older and stuff like that in college or after school, and if bad things would happen, I'd be looking at the other person. I'm like, you can't even pay your rent. You don't have a job. Why? And then in school, I would say to them, I'm like, ooh, if it was like the popular kid in school and doing something, I'm like, ooh, you know where you are now? You've peaked. enjoy these days because it's only going to go downhill from here. And that was the truth, because those people that did those things back in school, if you look at where they are now, they're in a terrible place. So just if you are going through bullying now, remember that the people that are bullying you now, years down the road, are going to be usually living awful lives. You reap what you sow. So just get through it now. Be strong, like what Fran's telling you. Think about visualization. Think about also self-esteem. You're better than this. And just rise above it. Like an eagle when it's being pecked on by crows, rise above it to an altitude that the crows can't travel.
It as if it's not even happening to you. There's a really good book out there called Please Stop Laughing at Me, and it's by a girl that was bullied to the point that she actually wanted to kill herself. It was, took a knife to her own face because she was so angry she wanted to do that. She is now a very famous publicist, and then she went back to her high school reunion, and all the people that bullied her didn't even remember that they had bullied her. Because
you're giving them more power than they need.
Yeah, and you're thinking, wow, I wonder if they feel bad. They feel bad. They don't even realize they're hurting the person that's doing it. So don't give them the time of day. Actually,
completely.
Don't give them the time of day. Kick them in the ass. I'm sorry. This is.
If that's what I always say, when somebody's expressing hate, you basically take them out of the equation. If you want to respond to them, if it's in your best interest to respond to them, respond to them. If it's in your best interest that you ignore them, ignore them. But don't worry about them at all. Take them completely out of the equation, because you'll see sometimes, like, if a negative comment comes in, like on Twitter or something, like sometimes I may respond with a funny thing, and then that person may feel bad or whatever, and then apologize, and then it all becomes good. Other times I'll just completely ignore it because it's not worth my giving it the time of day. That's the key. Take the hater or the negative person out of the equation completely and handle it as is best for you and is in your best interest, because you're the most important person in the world to you, and at least you should be.
All right, now let's switch topics here.
Yes.
John, what was, during your childhood, what was your most embarrassing moment?
In my childhood?
Oh, unless somebody asked us a question.
Well, let's see. That's why I don't cease the put up and shut up vlog. That's why I do the cease. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cease the put up and shut. Well, cool, Scott McGowan. We'll have to check those out.
Yeah.
I visualize myself in a have-a-heart trap.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess that's true. The have-a-heart traps, which the animal doesn't get hurt in.
Right.
Just physically trapped, and if it was claustrophobic, we'll die of a heart attack.
Yeah.
But anyway, John, this is why I
Nice.
like Facebook. I see old school bullies have become nothing.
Exactly.
That's true.
And then they're over there going, wow, you're really successful.
That-
I go, yeah, and you're not.
And you know what I say to bullies? God bless.
That's his line,
bless.
which means basically,
God bless. You could say it honestly, like, God bless. It's two words that can mean anything. God bless, and you could be really nice, and then somebody really angers you, go, God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all in the intonation. But anyway, next one. This one, they have a lot of them. It says, "Hey, Newton's shooter's mom."
Kept moving him from school to school.
Yeah.
And that didn't
No,
help
it didn't
him.
help, because then he's always the new kid, and when you're always the new kid, shit happens.
You have to have alliances and friendships, but that's the other thing too. You know what? Everybody always gives a sign when they're mental. People say, "Oh, he just went crazy." Nobody just goes crazy.
Yeah.
There are always indications that things are brewing. People just choose not to look.
And people are kids are horrible.
Yeah.
This is social services checks out a home
Yeah,
and makes
we
sure.
read that one.
Oh, we already did that one. Okay,
Yeah.
boys. Okay, so I think we're caught up. Engineer Chris, did you see a question that we missed?
Yeah, there was a question that asked.
Which?
No, I missed it.
The voice of God, Engineer Chris.
To Fran,
Okay.
Yes.
do you teach self-esteem or encourage it?
I do both. I actually.
No, he meant when you suggested that people teach it in school. Do you think they should teach it or encourage it?
Oh,
Do you think they should actually teach it, like a class in it,
I think
or
I
encourage
actually
it?
think
I saw
they
that
should
one.
teach it. And I think they should encourage it. I think it goes hand in hand. I think what happens is you teach little kindergarten kids, you give them things to say, well, people always are like, you can't do that, you can't do that. Teach the kid, anything is possible. You could do that. And if you catch somebody
100%.
doing that, say, and why did you feel the need to insult that? Bring it up to them. Let them see when they're bullying someone and let them know what self-esteem is.
Or the results of their actions, yeah.
Exactly. And make them aware, because sometimes people do things and they're just totally unaware. You could be doing something and then just not know you're doing it, and then the person's getting annoyed and you just don't understand what the heck is going on.
It's also
and
like
so freaking annoying
it's also
that
like
nobody
wild
says
Tourette's.
anything.
It's also like she has a horrible Tourette's condition, so sometimes you just have to know it. So when you, that's not bullying. That's Tourette's.
Yeah. I was smacking you. Tourette's is
Okay.
the person.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Tourette's is also movements. You
Oh,
could
is
have,
it?
you could have like actual gestures and like actions. It's not just
You
the.
see, I don't really think Tourette's exists. I think that that's somebody who's just passive aggressive and wants
Yeah.
to blame it on things.
I agree, I agree.
You know, I really can't help that I do that. You know, I can't really help it. You know. So.
Sometimes I just lash out.
Exactly.
There you go.
At the end of the show, we're gonna be pulling each
It's
other's
hyster-
hair.
it's
But we're
hysterical.
really friends. Okay. So.
Now the pictures, by the way, started moving again, so it was on a little bit of a delay. So I just saw this happen.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like that.
When you see that happen as you're trying to check comments, it's hysterical. Peter Girl, by the way, Miss Peter Girl, why don't you tweet for Emily Owl, because they don't even know that we're on Wednesday, Emily Owl and Cassandra Hennessy to join us, because I miss John's Angels, and Fran would like to become acquainted with them.
Oh, I didn't even know about the Angels.
The Angels are sweet. That's that was for a while. Peter Girl, Emily Owl, and
Oh, I know them. Yes.
and
Okay, I didn't
and
realize you called them
Cassie,
the
which
An-
is I
Angels.
called them the
Okay.
Angels because there was 3 of them, which was cool. Now Chris, is Blargle's comment the last one where it's like why it's
No,
why
I
I
saw
like
that
Facebook?
before.
No, but is that the last one? He might have newer ones.
There's 2 more from Blargle. One is John's most embarrassing moment.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
because I
yes.
started to tell you, yeah,
Yeah, okay, we'll go back to that.
as a child. So we don't have to do the adult
As
one.
as a child, my most embarrassing moment. You know, actually, was that the most? That might be, yeah. First of all, I'll preface this by saying, in high school, I was
go.
salutatorian of my class. So I was always
impressive.
later on in school, like after 6th grade, I got very academically oriented, and I won like the biology medal, the math medal, etc. Now, back to the most embarrassing moment. In grade school, the teacher, bitch of a woman that she is, called me out because I did not know my left from my right foot. I actually did not, because while I would know other things in class, I did not know my left from my right foot. So when she said, when she was saying, you step with your right foot over here, or we were doing something in class, I don't even remember what it was. It was like 1st or 2nd grade or whatever it was. But she was like, and I would just stand there, and then I just pick a foot at random, which was wrong. And then she goes, and then she says, do it, and then she would say the other foot or something else, and I would always get it wrong. And then she goes, you don't know your left from your right foot. I'm like, duh, stupid. Do you have a degree? I mean, even if that's the case, you don't point it out in front of like a whole room full of kids. It's like saying, all of a sudden the kid finding out, doing the knit check, and they go, this one over here has lice right here, dirty family. You just don't do that in front of everyone else in school. But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
Okay, well, I have had a couple of embarrassing moments, but one I remember now that you brought that one up is I remember one
Why
time.
is she with a lice kid?
No, it wasn't the
kid
lice
The
kid.
kid who ate paste?
But no, didn't do that either. But my sister used to put mothballs up her nose, which is like a little freaking bizarre. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Mothballs are big for a little girl to
She
stick up
would
her nose.
stick it up her nose.
How-
Yeah.
Mothballs are big.
Listen, I'm not even going to go there.
What does she have,
Anyway,
nostrils the size of a rhino?
Well, they stretched with the mothballs, and I used to go, shit, those are to kill little moths. Why would you stick that up your nose? But anyway, that's my sister's issue.
Not to
Okay,
get into anything,
yeah.
but that just explains so many things right now to me. That just
Not about me,
answers.
hopefully,
That
but-
just answers so many questions.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But no, a couple of things that happened. One about a
Yes.
teacher was
Okay.
I remember it was a new class, first day of class, and the teacher goes, now I'm going to sit you in a not size order, but in order from the people who had the lowest grade on the test to the highest. And then she called my name, and I was the first one. I went, oh, geez,
that's
that's not,
bad.
please do that. But
That's
but,
bad.
But actually, afterwards, I became a dean's, now I can't even say what.
Dean's list?
On Dean's List, yes, at 3.5 index on when I was in Queens College. But what my embarrassing moment as a kid was we used to have a lake in back of where we lived in Goose Pond Park. And my mother said, now watch your sister when you go skating on the lake, and just remember, don't fall in the lake, which of course is a good thing to say, because if you fall in the lake, your legs will freeze, and you're going to get gangrene, and they'll have to cut them off. Your pants will stick to your legs. So we go to the park, and the boys are skating on one side, and my sister, who always did wacky things, went off and skated where the ice was thin. She falls in, she's yelling, Franny, Franny! And I'm looking, and I'm like, well, if I come off the ice and go around the pond and try to get her, she may drown by then. So I went in after her. She has her skates on, I have the skates on. I'm picking her up, carrying her to the edge, get her out, get out. Now we got our skates on, the pants are on, it's freezing out, and all of a sudden I go, we're gonna get gangrene. It could stick to our pants.
Did you know what gangrene was at that
No,
point?
my mother
You
just
didn't
told
even
me
know
they
what
would have to
gangrene.
cut off our legs and that they would
Oh,
stick to us.
okay.
So I remember my mother saying that. So we literally, I go, we gotta take our pants off. So we pulled our pants down to our skates, didn't bother taking them off, and ran the whole way home with like this, going gangrene, 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 like that. And everybody was laughing. I come in, my mother goes, why are you running without your pants on? I go, I didn't want them to stick to my legs and they get cut off. And my mother was like, oh, there were other days your legs have been colder. I go, why'd you tell me that? I just ran through the whole neighborhood with my pants down, yelling gangrene.
Did anybody remember after that?
Yes,
though?
all
Did
the
they comment?
kids that were in school in 6th grade, that was
That's
stuck
why your
with me for a while.
That's why your nickname was Gangrene Fran.
No, my nickname was Crusher Capo, but that's because.
Oh, that's better at least. It's better than Gangrene Fran.
Yeah, because my sister would get into fights with people, and because
Yeah.
I was 3 years older, she would tell them, my sister Franny is going to beat you up, and then I would have people going, I heard you were going to beat me up. I was like, stop using me as your older brother.
You were like the bully.
I would, but I didn't. Yeah. And that's why I know so much about it.
Actually, she was cast as the bully.
I was
She
cast
didn't
as the
accept the
bully.
role. She was
Yeah.
cast as the bully.
That's
Here
right.
we go. Then it says, Blargle says, full disclosure, my most embarrassing moment, Space Academy, an incident with a space modulator. There you go. Oh, that's like somebody with an incident with a vacuum cleaner. We won't go into that. All right, space modulator. All right. Winner. All right, and then cool. Okay.
What? Do
So-
we have anything else there, Chris?
We have anything else? Because we are.
Fran, please retell the gangrene story and make a video acting out the run.
Oh, no,
Oh, okay.
he
You mean on a-
he doesn't want. He wants you to actually retell it in a YouTube video where you can edit it, meaning showing the run.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take your. Why not? Okay.
That has
And I
viral
could
potential.
Do the actual run.
No, but he's going to want you recreating, like actually in the pond with the wet thing, with the sister. He wants you to actually do it as like a recreation.
I'll do it with dollhouse characters.
That's not bad, actually. They do that on Bravo shows now a lot. There's this person that takes like characters from the Bravo show and recreates the scenes from the Bravo shows with dolls.
Yeah, because then I can make the doll
That's
fall
clever.
in, have the little pants go down, and then I'll interject my face on the doll so I could do the run.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go. And Barbie, he says Barbies.
Barbie dolls.
That'll
yes.
work. Now, Rowena, did you last through this whole thing? And Peter Girl, did you last through this whole thing? Has it been? I want to know. Have we had any lags or freezes, or has the audio been good? Has it been a clean broadcast once we got started? Please tell me. I want to know.
And John, it looks like we're almost out of time.
We are. We're just going to say goodbye. It goes so quickly. And make sure to tell friends so that when we get back to our Monday time slot, we start growing in leaps and bounds. I know with the YouTube platform it's a little different, but I want to make this a big thing because we have a great opportunity here at NextLab. They set up everything for us. We have all sorts of lights that you can't see around us. We have engineer Chris, usually a cameraman, but we want to see how far we can take this mother. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I said mother, and I ended it on mother. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. Anyway,
tell your mommy.
there you go. Look at that.
What?
Blargle says, went well, 1 or 2 light freezes, which is an improvement from last time. And Peter Girl says, everything's been good. Peter Girl, you're going to make me happy. I'm saying, all of a sudden I raise my voice like you're in the room, like you're walking out the
she's walking
door.
in. Peter Girl,
And I'm like, Peter Girl, wait, where you going? Where you going? Peter Girl, love of my life, Miss Luz, are you going to make this show as popular as you did with the Conduit shows and get us to hundreds of viewers and also tweet the hell out of it so that everybody starts coming? I'm counting on you, Peter Girl. She's nodding her head. Much love and respect to you on that one, Peter Girl.
And Blargle wrote that too. Much love and respect, John Fran.
All right, cool. Well, we are out of here, guys, so we will sign out with that. Please make sure to watch the show on Monday. Fran will also be back a bunch of times, so you'll be able to get to know her more. It's better to do. Isn't it better to do a show together than when you did your own show?
Yeah,
I like
it
doing a
always
show
is,
together.
yeah.
It's fun. And
Just as long as we could do it at a time I could park for free on the street. That's
which is good because in this area, I think it's 6 o'clock. You said, right?
It's 6 o'clock. So
Which
as
is
long as
even better than 7. Good. So,
Yeah.
but the show's probably going to be back on Monday. Engineer Chris, are we sticking at 8 o'clock or are we going to be back on Monday at 7?
To be determined, up to you. I think we can.
Okay, we could do either 7 or 8. So guys, tweet me. Write in the comments now, but we don't know if it's going to update quick enough. If it doesn't, tweet me and also include Fran in the tweet at Fran Capo. If you want it to be Mondays at 7 or Mondays at 8. The one thing I will definitely tell you is with my Buzz 60 schedule and with also all the camera people schedule and the production assistant schedule is definitely going to be Monday because nobody can come any other day but Monday. But tell me if you want 7 or 8, and we'll choose based on what you say. Good?
As long as it's a consensus.
Yes. Consensus.
Okay.
Okay.
So get together, have a party, and decide.
Figure it out. Anyway, much love and respect. Engineer Chris, you better get out because otherwise we're just getting closer and closer to the camera.
Twitterverse, tweets abound. Facebook's a
There you
land
go.
where friends are found. YouTube comments, may they never cease. MySpace is dead, so let it rest in peace. The best of the week, here's where they be. Chosen by yours truly, the name's JB. Verse, tweets abound. Facebook's a land where friends are found. YouTube comments, may they never cease. MySpace is dead, so let it rest in peace. The best of the week, here's where they be. Chosen by yours truly, the name's JB. Shoutouts, props, questions for you, all wind up in the new media stew.